Hello everyone, I'm here to do a reading for tomorrow's full moon on the 19th of April 2019, full moon in Libra. It's going to be a pretty intense one. I've checked out the astrology report and it seems that this full moon will be focused mainly on our relationships and how we see our relationships. And well, I'm not gonna go into astrologer sports. I'm not an astrologer. I do follow up because I feel the energy quite intensely, so most of the time it's more like checking to see what's this all about, or why certain aspects suddenly get lit up, whether I'm aligned or not. Yes, so therefore I'm going to do this reading for the collective for the full moon in Libra, which is going to be tomorrow, April 19th. As I said, it's a collective reading. If it resonates, it resonates. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Alright, so we have the 9 of Cups, wish fulfillment. Let's see where this goes. It's the full moon in Libra for the collective. What are the key messages for this full moon? That would probably... Oh, okay, there you go. We were talking about full moon, right? There she is. Alright. And bottom of the deck we have the King of Cups. Beautiful. Bottom of the deck is our underlying energy. So we are talking about emotional maturity here and how to accomplish that, probably. Or I'm gonna pull out some clarifiers for these cards. Yeah, the King of Cups. Okay. Just in case. Well, just in case wasn't clear enough that we are revisiting relationships here and emotional stuff. There you have the 2 of Cups with the 3 of Swords. Beautiful. Let's clarify this moon and the Temperance, please. Oh yeah, there's a lot going on here. Alright, with the Page of Swords to clarify the moon. And what do we have for the Temperance, please? For the collective. Of course. Alright, so we have 2 of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, to go along with your theme of King of Cups. So yes, we are talking here about emotional maturity and emotional stability, and we are talking about balancing out our emotions with this 2 of Pentacles in a very in a grounded way. How do we do this? How do we balance our emotions? How do we embody this King of Cups energy? And I think this is a question that kind of rises up for all of us any moment in time, but in this particular period I feel it's really important that we revisit this aspect of ourselves, of emotional maturity and emotional stability. How and I think we've done a lot of the work in this direction, but this full moon is gonna be steering us up. Like, look at this guy here. He's barely he's juggling there, yes. So he's playing with the universe there as it looks with that infinity sign. But he's like not particularly stable, right? He's sitting on one foot there, and he's and look at the water behind him. The water symbolizes emotions everywhere in tarot, and the water behind him, it's rather turbulent, and those ships, which symbolize support, by the way, are barely making it there. They don't seem to have the easiest of their journey there. So coming together with the King of Cups, which, by the way, he also has a lot of like, his throne is on water, and you can see that he's got a big ship behind him, and there's a whale there as well, somewhere here, and he's the master of this. And look at this water; it's not very like how's it called? It's also pretty wavy, let's put it this way, but he's really, really chill and relaxed here, and he's in control because he did the work. He mastered his emotions. He's it's not that he's emotionless. He's full of emotions, but he shows them when he needs to show them, and he's not ruled by them. Being nothing wrong with emotions, and important part with emotion is learning how to not be ruled by them, but how to own them, and how to listen to our emotions. Yeah, so there's like a lot of like let's say that emotional imbalance may show up, may come up. And I think many of us here are dealing with what we want in a relationship. Is this wish fulfillment, or it can be for some of us that we actually have this, and this gets revisited, like we have the relationship that we wanted, and now we were like, okay, now what? But I think in most of the cases it's really just looking at what do we want from a relationship. When we're setting out our wishes in the universe and say, okay, I want a relationship to be like this, whether it's a current relationship that we're into or a relationship that we're trying to manifest, like something that we look for, wish for in the future that will come to us. It is actually the main theme of this full moon in Libra, right? Like relationship. How are we showing up in relationship? What are the traditional relationships? What is the baggage that we're still carrying from previous and past relationships? What do we want really? What do we expect from a relationship? And when I say expect, I don't mean like putting expectations, unrealistic expectations on someone that we want to be with, but what is it that we really desire? How do we envision a relationship that is healthy, nurturing, and something that could see ourselves in? And if it's a current relationship, how do I see this relationship progressing? And what is like, again, what is my heart desire from this particular relationship? You know, the Two of Cups, it's a card of union, and it's a card of like balanced union. It's a card of two people getting together and putting everything on the table, you know. They have their cups full each. It's not like one has an empty cup and one has a full cup and is telling the other one, please fill my cup, give me half of your or whatever. No, it's an exchange, and it's an exchange based on mutual support and mutual respect and love. So with this Nine of Cups here, which has to do with wish fulfillment, which has to do with what is it that makes me happy and joyful in relationships. It's a call for us to really look at that. And then it comes with the Three of Wands, clarified by the Three of Swords. Well, this Three of Wands is it's an amazing energy. I love the energy of the Three of Wands. Is when you've been through the duality of before taking a decision. By the way, this could also have something to do with decision making. And we have two twos here and three threes. But with the Three of Wands is when we made a decision and when we're already like starting out the journey in the direction that we know where we're going. We know what we're manifesting. We know what we want. We're calling in the ships, and things are set in motion. And obviously it has something to do with the way we relate to ourselves and potential partners or partners. And not only, to be honest, I think it has to do with anyone that's really close to you. Someone, like, it can be friendships and family, but it's revisiting relationships in general, not just partner. But relationship with a partner or potential partner are sometimes the ones that take the most space. And I think it's, to many of you, it's about this, because it comes also of the Three of Swords, which is processing this past, the baggage that we're carrying from our emotional realm, from our relationship, from our past relationships. I want to clarify this Three of Wands with Three of Swords, because the Three of Wands is an energy that says, like, okay, we've done this, we've done the decision, we've done the thinking, we're putting things in motion. Putting things in motion, there you go, Wheel of Fortune. And I think in this case the Three of Swords has to do with the processing had been done. We've been processing what we've been carrying, and with the Wheel of Fortune, seems that this really enforces this things are being set in motion, things are changing, and there is a big change coming in our relationship patterns and so on. And then we have the Moon with the Page of Swords. Page of Swords, again, it's has something to do with mental clarity and change. You see this wind is blowing into his hair and it's blowing the clouds away. That's there's a transformation happening here. The Page is ruled by the drive of transformation, and the Moon, well, it's actually in the central reading here. It is what we are coping with of the full moon. It's bringing up, like, the vulnerable side in us. It's bringing up the parts of us that are afraid. It's bringing up the illusions that we've been entertaining about. Again, you have the Cancer here coming out of the water, and you have this moon and the wolf and the dog howling at the moon here, and the crab is like terrified here, trying to, he needs to go on this road, right? And at this point it looks like he's not really sure he's gonna take the journey or not, because these two look rather scary. But this is part of the test. it's not, let's not call it a test as in like, okay, if I take it and I fail it and that's it, it's gone. No, it's more like this is the quest that we're on to all the time, and with each and every full moon, different aspects, it depends on where we at that point in time, are being called upon review, different fears and different, oh well, that's sorry about that. Yes. So the point with the moon card is that we got to face our fears, and we can understand that and the illusions, right? Like I think it's very very related with illusions with this Page of Swords here, and with like this wind of clarity that comes through to kind of wave away the illusions. The moon will bring light into these dark spaces to look at them and see where are these illusions coming from. And with the fear as well, these two, the wolf and the dog, have a great potential to become allies on this journey once we tame them. Because we can't be ruled by our fears. Yes, our fears can look very scary, but if we allow them to have control over us, then we are frozen, and this crap is not going to move forward. It's just going to get stuck in there, you know. Taming our fears means looking at them and having a conversation with them and understanding, because fears are there to protect us. It doesn't necessarily mean that we need to give them the power over us. I can walk my path with fear, but not ruled by fear, alright? And talk about fears, look at this Nine of Swords crowning this Temperance here, which, yeah, of course, in moments like this where we're being like heavily triggered, there's going to be a lot of anxiety showing up, a lot of suppressed thoughts coming out, and sometimes taking the better of us, getting us feeling like the dark night of the soul here. But it comes to clarify this Temperance card, and I think Temperance is being called upon us to learn how to work with this, because Temperance, it's the card of the alchemist. It's the card of the he's like some sort of celestial scientist here. See, he's got this. He looks like a doctor with this, and he pours this cup from one cup to this water of life from one cup to another, balancing out and learning how to work with it. The great part of this energy is that it brings in curiosity. It brings in that fire of exploration. This is Sagittarius energy, and you have the symbol of fire on his heart here, this angel. And you have the sun rising here, and if you see the path again, it's you have the water, and you have a path taking us to the sun. And here we have the water, and we have the path taking us towards this mountain. I don't really know where that goes. That's probably one of the reasons why it's scary. Temperance is here to tell us that yes, it may look uncomfortable. Yes, it may feel very uncomfortable. It may keep us up on a night. We can go through a lot of anxiety and a lot of, as I said, fear. But we can, once we tame that fear, once we allow that fear in to pass through us and not just resist it and run away from it and get frozen by it, we can take this path. We can look at this path of curiosity. And with Temperance, is not that much about it's not about suppressing. It's not like, okay, I'm going to temper myself up, and I'm just going to control my emotions. That means that I'm not going to give in to them, and I'm going to end up like in this super stressed out energy and bottling up and things like this. No, Temperance has to do with trial and error, with trying out. Okay, if we put a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and put in this cup together, is it better? Oh yeah, it's a little bit better. Oh, what if you try this one out? how this gonna work out. Okay, that didn't work out as good as I thought it's gonna work, but there we go. We tried it, and so on. I find it still, I'm mesmerized by this image of the water, and it's because it's right in front and they're right next to each other, right? And the path going to the horizon in both cards, right after another. And seeing this angel here right next to it, it also shows me in a way that we are guided and we are being protected here. I'd like to clarify these cards, please. What is this Nine of Swords about? I mean, like, yeah, I know we're talking about relationships, and we're talking about emotions, and we're talking about fears and confusions and illusions, and we're talking obviously about learning how to own our emotions and how to learn from them and how to navigate them. A lot about navigation. Look how many ships are in this reading. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. and there's a lot of water. A lot of water. Cups energy, and almost all the cards here have a body of water. Well, these are cups, they're just water by default, but there's like water. water. It's amazing. So yeah, let's see, let's clarify this Nine of Swords with Temperance. I want to have a little bit more specific look at this Nine of Swords, please. Nine of Swords is also when it's the mind struggling to fit in or to accommodate these big changes that happen at our emotional level and in our awareness. You know, our minds, amazing as they are, they're also rather limited because you can't process everything that clearly at a mind level. We just not equipped with our brains to incorporate all these very, very big changes. So the mind struggles a little bit, you know, and that's all right. And what showed up with the Four of Swords, which I think in this case comes as advice that we gotta take that break and silence the mind a little bit, give the mind a chance to rest. We're relying on our minds too much to give us clarity, because we want to understand everything, and it makes a lot of sense, but sometimes we just cannot, and we keep pushing and we keep forcing ourselves to analyze everything. And it is time to work with this, and it is time to learn how to work with your emotions from a heart place. See, this heart of this angel is heavily emphasized there with the fire symbol. Give your mind a rest. It's been serving you well, and our minds is trying our best, but relying too much on the mind and not paying attention on the heart or on your gut sometimes can lead to this dark night of the soul sort of energy, and is just gonna steer things up rather than help balance ourselves, because we keep like running the same program over and over again, the same thoughts that tell us, I don't know what it tells us, but it's obviously not something that we are very happy about. So give your mind a rest and allow this structure to be created. Keep observing your mind and focus on the heart. Breathe in, breathe in. Be aware of your breath. Breathe in, focus on your heart and feel into your body and give your mind rest. Go in nature, immerse yourself in nature if you can, if you have something around you. Meditate. This is a very meditative energy. And it's not giving up, it's just a break, you know. This is just a break. This guy can, it's just taking a nap here. And I got also the 4 of Wands to clarify his dynamics here. And yeah, well, that's what we want to. That's what we are revisiting with all this relationship theme and emotional balance. Is how to get into this energy of the 4 of Wands, and what does it mean to us? What it means for me to be successful may be a little bit different than what it means for you to be successful. What a relationship, perfect relationship means for me might be very different than what a perfect relationship means for you. We all have our own needs, and we gotta go through and revisit all that. And we all have our fears, and we all have our suppressed thoughts and limiting beliefs that hold us back, that run somewhere in the background. You see these swords here, like on this dark black wall here. It's like running in the background of your mind. They're not in your awareness. But this is why you need to silence the mind a little bit and go into this reflection state in order to, and reflect upon this. Reflect upon, what does this mean to you? What is this energy of success, of stability, of relationship, of union means to you? And be honest with yourself. Don't look at this from what is it that society expects of you, or your parents, or like, try to separate this programming that you grew up with, and allow yourself to really feel. Allow yourself to be guided by your emotions. If you're in a relationship, for example, and you're constantly frustrated, well, look at about that. Look at, what are you really frustrated about? Is this good for you? Is this bad for you? Is this good for the relationship? If you're in wanting a relationship and you don't seem to meet the right kind of people, and you have the same pattern, attracting the same kind of people over and over again, or even worse, not even making any effort for meeting anyone, and just expecting somehow that somebody will materialize without leaving the house and stuff. Revisit again, why, what is it that am I attracting? What is it that I'm not looking at within my own baggage, my emotional baggage? What is it that I'm carrying? What is it that I need to look at in order to achieve this? Alright guys, well, I'll leave it at this because this is a lot, and I hope this makes sense to some people out there. And yeah, thank you for joining me here for this reading. If you enjoyed it, please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you soon with the monthly readings for each sign. Thank you very much, and have a very productive process for this full moon. Full moons have amazing potential of lighting up dark parts of ourselves, and each and every cycle we are called upon to look in very particular places. With this Libra full moon, it's relationships. So have a good one and be gentle with yourself. We all need right now to just be gentle with ourselves and allow ourselves to really smoothly navigate this process. Have a great full moon.